Thank you. First of all, now Ukraine is free, apart from Crimea and two local administrations that were taken by pro-Russian separatists. But you know, yesterday it was three. Okay, so overnight, one administration was taken back in eastern Ukraine from those pro-Russian separatists, and nobody was killed. So it is still within quite low level of violence. And you know that Crimea was also taken by Russian troops without no military response from the Ukrainian army based in the Crimea. So now it's kind of strategic but and military but non-violent resistance. And paradoxically, Ukrainian military are better non-violent fighters than my friends from the civil resistance. Maybe because of discipline and maybe because they got order not to shoot in Russia. Now it will be about, first of all, about Ukrainians. I mean, NATO is helping a bit. They pledged, and especially the United States pledged, basically all kinds of support, but the U.S. boots on the ground. They pledged financial support, they pledged technical support, equipment, intelligence support. So basically Ukraine can get all kinds of support now from NATO and the United States. The problem is that the Ukrainian army, as well as the rest of the country, is not reformed since the Soviet Union. And there is no capacity in Ukraine to introduce reforms and to accept most of that assistance. So again, it's not about bringing down a dictator, that's local responsibility, it's our Ukrainian responsibility, but also making sure that democracy is consolidated, that institutions are built, that country is reformed. It's also the outside world, I mean the Western world of course here, it can help a lot, but it can't do it instead of us. Okay? So to win this conflict with Russia, and I mean here dictatorial Russia of course, because there are some people who are protesting against the Russian occupation, and these people are there in Russia. And some of the protests mentioned here today, they were started by my Russian friends. And basically my surname is Russian, so my father is Russia from Odessa and my mother is Ukrainian. So sometimes I have problems explaining to my Ukrainian friends that why the hell I'm doing all that and helping them. But the fact is that lots of Russians, they understand that actually it's the way that Putin and his gang are trying to sell this imperial myth to Russians. And actually it's more about myth today. And now lots of Russians support Putin, and his support increased up to 80% of Russians. But there are still 20% who are, I don't want to express their attitude or are openly anti-Putin. The letter written by a friend of mine after we had some discussion online, he gathered 200,000 online signatures just within 1 week. And this is in quite a repressive regime. And these people are not accredited. Okay? They're putting their names open and it's online. So I think that 80% is the maximum, and over time it will be just decreasing. And it can take from several months to several years, but supporters of Putin will realize that actually Russia cannot control these territories, even though their military will be present there now.
You mean Crimea?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
C'è una pronta para acá de usted?